In this quick start tutorial, we're going to cover the basic use of the ColorLogic swatch palettes for Adobe InDesign. And this works for all versions of Adobe InDesign. It's extremely simple to use. We're not going to go through all the different techniques that you can do inside InDesign. For that, we would recommend that you go through our individual tutorial videos. This is just a quick start guide to quickly show you how to design and make something. So I'm going to make something from scratch, so there's no trickery involved. We're going to make a new document, and let's first of all, let's give it some background colour. So let's just put in a nice black background. Now let's add a logo design. So maybe let's drop a logo over the top. Now this logo, we could have that as metallic, but for this I'm going to have it in CMYK. So I'm going to make a book cover here. Let's just hide some of those frame edges. And let's have some text, and put a text box, and let's add some text in there. Let's give that text a colour. Let's make it just white, and let's just centre that text. Obviously you can create whatever you like. All we're doing here is literally just making a design. So maybe something like this. It's a book cover, Rise from the Ashes. Okay, so basic information here is all designed up, and it's just in CMYK. So if we go to our separation preview, you'll see that there is no spot color there. So we're going to add that in. So to do that, we're going to go to our swatches. And the very first time you use Adobe InDesign, you have to manually load the palette into InDesign because it's a specialist palette that cannot be loaded in like a color book. So we go to New Color Swatch, and it will bring up this floating palette. So normally you would find your color books in here, but these are very special color books. They don't work in metallics. We have to create a special palette, so we have to load it in. So go to Other Library, and now we're going to direct the computer to the applications folder. Go to your InDesign. Let's see if you get the right one. InDesign. Then it explains this in our user manual as well, but it's presets, swatch libraries, and you'll see the ColorLogic one here. You click on open. So you only have to do this the first time you load up the palette into InDesign, and provided your InDesign does not crash between now and the next time you close, then that palette will be accessible from this menu. You just go down to ColorLogic. Okay, so we can now start to add some of our colors. So it's a little bit like it in Illustrator where we have graphic styles. These are pre-made colors with its metallic and CMYK percentages. So all we have to do is add these to our design. So I'm going to add, let's do number 17. Let's add some other colors so you can see how this works. We'll do number 75. So I'm just clicking and adding colors that I would like to design with. Okay, so I select them, click on add, and it's going to add those into my document. So I've now got my colors that I want to design with. So if we wanted to, we could click this background, and if we want to make it number 17, we click on it and make it number 17, and that is all you have to do. It is now metallic. So if we go to our separation preview, you'll see it's built that ColorLogic separation, and there is the plate. So that black area is where your metallic would print. So that's either going to be metallic ink, and this is going to be the white paper, or it's going to be metallic substrate, and this white area is your white ink mask. So let's do something a little bit more creative. So again, we're going to keep this in CMYK for the Phoenix logo and the text. I'm now just going to make a gradient. So I'm going to go to the window menu. I'm going to go to color, go to gradient, and I'm now going to make a linear gradient. And I'm going to have that at 90 degrees. And I'm now going to choose some of my colors. So I'm going to go to my swatches here. Now at the bottom down here, this white area, I would like that to be the black. And at the top, let's have that as a gold. So let's take number 17 and drag it over here. So I'm now blending black into gold. Now this black is just a CMYK, just a black, as in like black. There's no colour in there. Now we really need to add some colour in there so that black doesn't look so washed out. Now to do that, I'm just going to make a new colour. I'm just going to edit it, and this is what we call shiner in the pre-press industry in the UK. It's basically adding some colour behind the back of the black. Personally, I like to add in a kind of like a grey balanced black underneath the black. So I usually use a 40% tint, but you can use whatever you're happy with. And again, now that's been made, I'm going to take that black colour and drag it up here. So it's adding a little bit extra colour, a little bit extra warmth in there, so that when my colour blends out from the magenta in here, it's going to blend into the magenta of that separation. Now I can, if I want, increase and play around with this. Maybe something along the lines of, maybe something like that. Because now we've got that, we can add some other effects in there. If maybe we wanted to have, I don't know, let's just keep this very simple, we could have a gold panel at the bottom. We could just go in there, make it number 17, and then you've got some gold, and then that's going to be black, and then you have gold at the top. We could also maybe take some of that text. Let's change the text to black and put it over the top. Actually, no, let's keep that where it was. This is the problem when you're designing in real time, is that when you change your mind, everybody has to see what's going on. Okay, so let's take that text, make that black, and that could be the author. So you get the idea how you can add different things into this design. Now what we could also do is we can now edit this Illustrator file, because maybe we've decided that we want that Phoenix bit to come out in silver, and maybe we want this silver and this silver. So now let's edit that file. So if you select the image and go to your links, and then go to, should be able to edit original. I'm going to edit the original and make sure I've got the right application program. So it's Illustrator CC 2017. And there we have the file. So here I'm just going to click on these items. Now I might decide I want those to be dark silver but in metallic. So to do that, I can literally go over, just pick up one at a time, go over to the appearance, make a new fill layer, and then from our ColorLogic swatch palette, that's the window, swatch libraries, ColorLogic, we get access to just our silver separation. So put in a new fill layer on there, and now set that to overprint. Now if you're only still seeing silver here, it's because you haven't got your overprint preview switched on. I'm going to switch that on. And same thing for this one, make a new layer, color it silver, set to overprint, do another one, overprint with silver. And maybe this down here I want just as the ColorLogic silver on its own. So I'm going to keep this in CMYK, so I've got metallic, charcoal grey, and then a silver down there. Save my file, go back into my InDesign, and now it's updated. Let's go to our separation preview. You now see we have metallic gold blending into black. We've got a metallic gold on the bottom, we've got silver in the logo, and then this gunmetal effect as well. So now we've created something a little bit more metallic in different areas, but I'm concerned that this is going to basically go a little bit flat, because we've got metallic here and metallic there. There's no contrast to make these two items work. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a frame around that just to pull it out of the design. And this is why you really need to design with our tools from the beginning, rather than actually trying to convert a file at the end, because otherwise, once a design's been signed off by an agency, to then start messing around with it, it's never going to give you the true best effect from that metallics. You always design with the palettes and plugins to make the best design out of there. Okay, so all I'm going to do here, I'm just going to actually, I'm going to do something slightly different here. I'm going to go to the object menu, path, and I'm going to offset the path, basically making it a duplicate copy. I'm going to minus, I don't know, -5 rounded. I'm just going to preview it. So you can see it's a little bit too big, that at -5. All I want is like a little extra shape around the outside. I'm happy with that there. So basically what it's done is made a duplicate but pulled it in by a couple of pixels. I'm going to hide that, and now I'm going to go back to this design. I'm going to get rid of the silver on the top. I'm going to put a frame around it. Actually no, I'm just going to do this as a white. Now let's bring back the items we hid. Save the file, and we'll go back into our page layout program. And all being well, there we go, and update it. Okay, so now I'll put like a little white frame around the outside. You could do a stroke, but this is just one of the ways that I like to work, to be able to pull files in and basically work within the application. Okay, so there's our book cover. Very simple, very basic, very crude in a way. Obviously, you know, depending upon how you design, it's completely up to you what you want to do. Maybe you want to add some spine on that one. So let's just back out. Oops. Go back. Add a. Helps if I don't keep clicking on it. That's because I've got my other application showing. Didn't realise clicking on things from different applications makes more sense. Okay, so let's add that pre-pressed black on that side, and book name. Oops. PHVNX. Moving around that way. I'm doing very well here. Okay, that would go up on the side. Maybe that's going to be coloured up as number 17. Oops. That's one thing to point out. If you're selecting it with the group item, the selection tool, it's going to colour up the background, and we didn't want to colour up the background, we want to colour up the text, so we need to select the text and then colour it up number 17. So now we've got gold text down the spine, and I think that will kind of just give us there you go, by the author. Okay, so very quick, very simple, quick little book cover worked up from scratch. And bear in mind, we're not graphic designers, we're just showing you how these palettes and plugins work. Obviously you can choose to do whatever you wish in your designs, so let's now see what this looks like. So let's save as. Oops, wrong way. In fact, actually, let's save my design. Just in case it crashes. Okay, so I'm now going to save as a PDF file. And again, this is just a normal PDF, just normal press quality. Doesn't make any difference for this purpose of the test. Obviously, use your own PDF settings, what you're happy using. Get rid of those two. So we've now got this Phoenix file. Let's drag that into the FX viewer, and then we'll visualize this with a foil, and then that way we can see that real wow factor of the foils. Now the FX viewer is a low resolution rendering engine, so when you see these little bands in here, that's just the resolution engine. If we did it in high resolution, it would take maybe half an hour to render your file. So I'm just going to go to view, visualize on foil. So now you can see we have foil at the top, we have that charcoal foil outlined in the logo, we've got foil in the Phoenix as a silver foil, and gold foil on the side and the spine. So really quickly, really simple, just to show you how you can use our tools. So it's really down to the hands of graphic designers now to come up with easy easy designs using our palettes and plugins, but it makes it look really quite complex. So just by using the silver substrate or silver ink, you can create all these different amazing effects. And you don't always have to have everything as a solid. Try blending. Blend non-metallic into metallic to create some interesting and more subtle effects. And there we have it. If we decide we want to make a change, so maybe I don't want this gold at the bottom because we've got this like copper orangey colour, well, let's just go back to our artwork file. Let's take that panel at the bottom, we're just going to make a new colour from our swatches. So we're going to go to the colour logic. You'd find a colour that you want to work with that's maybe copper. So let's go with say number 38, add that one, click on done. So now I've got copper at the bottom. Maybe I decide it's a little bit too copperish, maybe I want to change it to something else. Well, no problem, let's just go back and choose a different colour. So maybe let's go with something like a 237 instead. Slightly lighter, a little bit more balanced. And again, save your file, save a PDF file, bring that back into the FX viewer. Because the thing with the FX viewer is it can only take a file from the PDF and then it has to render it. It doesn't have an update engine, so you have to make a new PDF file and just drag the PDF into the FX viewer. It will go through that rendering, it will then pull that file into the 3D environment, and then it shows with that copper at the bottom. So visualize on foil, and there we have our nice simple design. So have a go and try out for yourselves, and have a look at the rest of the tutorial videos, because it will teach you how to do each individual technique from the watermarks to the gradations.